Hello and welcome everyone to my new retro series. This one has been long awaited ever since I started doing gaming on YouTube. I've always wanted to do this as a retro series, so now I'm finally doing it because it's been on the PlayStation Store for a couple of weeks. I bought it and, well, here we are. So instead of seeing the demo mode there, I'll skip to the first cutscene. I'll see you guys soon.
We managed to capture the eggs, Your Highness. Every last one.
Excellent. Maybe you will amount to something after all. Now, go guard the tunnels. Stop anyone from coming through.
Where are the eggs?
The holes came out on the other side of the Dragon Worlds. We found some of the eggs, but they were too heavy to carry back.
The other side of the world?
The Forgotten Worlds. Spyro, you'll have to go. Nobody else can fit down the holes.
Yeah, come on, let's go!
Find the eggs and bring them back, Spyro. You're our only chance.
You got it.
You know, I find it funny that the ability you just saw him use to go down the hole, we don't learn that until like way later in the game. Oh yeah, oh at last, but we're on Spyro. So I've actually just recently, only like last night, I finished Spyro 2, which I've never actually played before, which was Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, or Riptos' Rage, I don't know. And I actually, just before playing Spyro 2 for the first time the other night, I finished Spyro 1, like the very first one, which had Nasty Nork as the main enemy. The second one had obviously Riptos as the main enemy. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Spyro, which I'm sure like most of you are, but for those who aren't, this is a dragon, and the main aim of the game, you get a different objective in each game, but most of the time it's just collecting everything. For example, in this game, we've got a main enemy. I forget what her name is, but I'm sure we'll be told sooner or later, so I don't really need to tell you. The first game had Nasty Nork, which was the main objective was just to get to Nasty Nork because he'd killed everyone.
Spyro, to look left or right, press the L2 or R2.
Yeah, okay, we don't need to hear that. You're not playing the game, viewers, I am. But yeah, no, oh god, another tutorial, really?
So, you're the one in charge of rescuing the eggs, huh? How sad. Look here, Dragon. If you know what's good for you, you'll turn around and crawl back up that hole you came through. Those eggs belong to us now, and I've hidden them in places you'll never find in 1,000 years. Besides, even if you could find an egg, our expertly trained armies will dispose of you and take it back. Do I make myself clear? If I find you here again, I am going to be very angry. And you won't like me when I'm angry.
Why, did you turn into the Hulk or something? Look at the subtitles. Very angry. My gosh. But yeah, no, what I was saying, when I just realised what I said was a bit extreme. Nasty Nog didn't exactly kill everyone, but he turned all the dragons in the Dragon World to stone. You had to go and rescue all the dragons by, like, releasing them from their stony prisons. And you also had to collect all the gems along the way. That was the main objective. Then at the end you have to kill Nasty Nog. And to get into his, like, secret treasure world, you have to get all the gem, like, basically you just have to get every single thing. The second one I'll explain, the second game I'll explain in a minute after we talk to Moneybags here.
Spyro! My, how funny to see you here. Why, I haven't seen you since we defeated Ripto in Avalar. Well, my business went into a slump after you left, so I came here and struck up a nice deal with the local sorceress. Lovely woman she is. Seems to be very fond of dragons, too. The sorceress has asked me to guard Sheila the kangaroo. I suppose if you had a bit more money, I'd be willing to let her escape. Then you could keep her for a pet or something.
300 gems? You kidding me? Good God. Jesus, my heart is going crazy right now. No, Moneybags, he was first invented along with Hunter and I forget her name, but Hunter's best friend, the Fawn, I can't remember her name exactly.
Yo, Spyro, I just found one of those portal thingamajigs that leads to a different world, but you'll have to glide to get across to it. Press the X button to jump, then press the X button again while you're in the air to glide. Just follow me.
You got it, buddy. Yeah, Hunter, Moneybags, and Hunter's best friend, the Fawn, I can't remember her name. They were invented in the second game, Riptos's Rage.
I saw something shiny in that cave over there. Let's go check it out. You can get there by hovering. To hover, just press the triangle button at the end of your glide.
You gotcha. So in this first episode, anyway, I'm going to be showing you just the home world. I'm going to get all the gems and stuff like that in the home world, all the eggs. Just showing you about a bit, and then we'll go into the levels next time.
I almost forgot. I found this egg.
But yeah, the second game, you have to go through, and Riptos had basically taken over Avalar, and you just had to they needed a dragon to rescue Avalar because that was the only thing that Riptos was scared of. So what you had to do was go around and get some orbs from like each of the worlds, and also get the talismans from places so that you could get into Riptos's boss places.
Whenever you walk through any power-up that looks like this one, it will allow you to fly for a while.
Yeah, you need to get like all the orbs and the talismans in order to get into Riptos's boss stages, and there were 3, I believe. There was one with one of his minions, there was another one with the other minion, and then the last one in the third world was with Riptos himself there. But he actually brought back some of his minions in his last boss battle, you know, and some other new ones as well, because he had like a big power crystal which you had to get back from him, which he stole, because you thought you were done after the second world, and this whole new third world gets invented, and things just go completely ballistic. So yeah, no, the second game was pretty good actually. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be that good. It was a lot shorter than the first game, in terms of like how many worlds there were and like stuff like that, for example. But okay, that's not what I wanted to do. No, let me go! Jesus! Okay, there we go. Alright, you ready for this? Ugh. This is actually one of those power-ups. They worked a bit differently in the second game in terms of like how the little bar went down. It was the same bar, but I don't know, it just looked different. So here's the another egg here, Amy. But yeah, that was the second game was just all about that really. But the third game, all you've got to do really is just go through each of the worlds and rescue all the eggs, and eventually we'll get to face the sorceress. And then after you face the sorceress, I think that you get to go into like her secret world, which has a bunch more levels, which I'll try and show you. I mean, I've done them all before in my past, but I don't know if I could do them, because the last time I played this game, I tried doing them again, and one level in there is extremely hard. And when I get there, I'll show you what I mean, and I'll probably reference it back to this episode, but in terms of, like, you know, the extra world, it's going to be extremely difficult to get done there, so we'll see what happens.
Your game camera is currently in...
Okay, well, that's about the camera, like, changing all the camera and stuff like that. I'd rather keep it as it is, so I'm not going to change it for now. Shape!
I'm late for a dinner party at the Tiki Lodge, and the portal to my home just stopped working. Maybe the portal will reactivate after a few more dragons hatch.
Okay, so this was actually the first time that you get to collect things to open the portals. Because as I remember it, you don't really need anything to open portals back in the first and second games. In the second game, in the very last world, you needed like a couple of orbs to open the last few. By that time, you would have already had enough orbs to open all the portals anyway, so really it was irrelevant. But back in the first game, you didn't really need anything to open portals, they were all just open anyway.
I see an egg at the bottom of this lake. I would go get it, but I don't want to get my fur all wet. Maybe...
Oh shit, I didn't mean to press X, I thought he'd finished. Maybe you could get it. You can dive underwater by pressing the square button when you're on the surface and charge underwater by holding down the square button. Alright, now, this is something I've always enjoyed doing, is doing a little bit of a charge up like a dive, like... So like that, yeah. So yeah, I believe that the second game is the first time you were actually allowed to go underneath the water and, you know, have a swim about. I thought it was the third game, like this one was the first time you could do it, but after playing, you know, as I said, I'd never played the second game before until just recently, so, you know, I didn't actually know that. But yeah, it was actually the second game that this was invented, and then, you know, I think in all future Spyros you can do this. I'm not sure about future Spyros though, I think this is the last game that you really do it in. Alright, let's see what's on the surface. I think we're near finished with this part now though anyway, so there's a Sparks sign here. Spyro, I've got a special task for you. Meet me back here later. Okay. I'm guessing Zoe's the fairy. I believe she's the fairy anyway. And then I believe that this part is the place where you can go to new worlds, but I think you need to complete everything before you can actually go anywhere. I'm actually looking forward to, I believe it's the third world, because I think that's the one that has all my favourite levels in it. So, as you can see, the balloon is not complete yet, or it is complete, but you can't actually get to it yet. That's because you haven't completed anything yet. You need to actually do stuff first before you can go anywhere. Let's see what he has to say.
Here I was, about to go for a nice swim at Shell Beach, and my portal just disappeared right in front of me. If you go find some more of those dragon eggs, I bet this portal will turn on again.
14 eggs to open the portal. No problem, buddy. Well, we need to go get those eggs anyway from, like, what the hell's going on? Okay, it was glitching out for a bit there. I was like, what's going on? But no, yeah, you can actually get the whole Spyro trilogy for about £8 on the PlayStation Store now. They've finally put it on there after all my complaining of it not being on there. I was like, put it on there, what are you doing? But yeah, no, the second game was actually the first game to introduce boss battles. Because even though the first game sort of had boss battles, it didn't really. They were just like normal enemies that they called bosses. So, you know, it didn't really have any boss battles in it as such. But yeah, the second game was more introducing boss battles. So there you go, 400 out of 400 gems. That's where all the gems are. You can also get sheep to you know, puck up your health again, but don't really need them for the time being. Considering we've got 300 gems, let's go release Kangaroo.
I'm getting paid a fortune to keep Sheila the kangaroo.
Okay, well, it doesn't really matter what he has to say, so let's just release her.
Ah, Spyro, I love your sweet naivete. Your kind-hearted nature might be your downfall someday, but for the time being, it's making me rich.
If I remember correctly, she's Australian.
I hope you appreciate this favor I'm doing in letting you out.
That's good of you, mate. No hard feelings, eh?
Right. After all, I'm just doing my job.
I reckon you'd be one of them dragons then.
Yeah, name's Spyro.
Never thought I'd see one. You dragons used to rule this entire world, you know. Then all of a sudden you left. Poof.
Dragons used to live here?
Didn't you know? They They say it was over 1,000 years ago, I think.
And they just left?
Yeah, and the weird thing is, after they left, all the magic in the world just sort of went with them. I mean, they say this world used to have magic coming out the wazoo. Flying ships, singing forests, wishing stones, you name it. But when the dragons left, it all just dried up.
Is that why some of the portals don't work?
Yeah, they're starting to fade out too, one by one. Well, I gotta get back home and do some damage control. Come visit anytime you like.
Alright, well, you can actually go and play as her. This is the first game you got to play as anyone other than Spyro, so that's quite exciting. But we'll actually be going into all of Spyro's levels first. We'll start with Sunny Villa next time, and then eventually we'll go into the kangaroo level there, probably last, because I want to show you like most of Spyro's stuff first. Then I'll show you all the side stuff afterwards, and then we'll move on to the next world. So, other than that, viewers, that's going to be about it for this episode. I'm probably not going to make these this long. It's just because I want to make the first episode quite long, show you the whole home world. And I'll probably do that with each home world. I'll make it a bit long and just show you the entire home world as much as I can. Then end the episode there. So, other than that, if you like the video, please like it and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And we'll be going into Sunny Villa next. The next couple of parts should be around 10 minutes or so. Maybe 12 minutes if I'm feeling a bit like long on that day. But I don't know, we'll see. But other than that, if you enjoyed the video, I've already said all that. So other than that, all that's left to say from me is farewell.